What is up, guys? It's your boy Gamer. Today I'm going to be back into the Silver Lining, a Knetter documentary. Now, this is a fake documentary from Patter Knetter, and this is about Sliver, the cardboard hedgehog. And for some guys who don't know him, then I don't know if this video is gonna. I don't know if this video you guys are gonna know about him. So yeah, let's get started right now. All right. Hope not for the same comfort we've always wanted, but rather change our outlook to hope we are. No. I didn't read all that. I couldn't read all that.
Cardboard Sliver. Both a sidekick and a hero, both alive and inanimate. Both an optimist and a realist. But from an outside view of what you see in his highly acclaimed internet series called What's Up With, many may think they know all there is to know about the papery protagonist. But what you don't see on the internet is a life of non-stop action and drama. All you have to do is look past the one dimension you see on YouTube and dive into the second dimension of this 2D delinquent.
The Silver Lining, a Knetter documentary.
Sliver was born in 2015 from nothing but a Sharpie and a piece of cardboard. He was born with a birthmark that some people say looks like the face of another life, or an individual that never came to be.
We knew from the beginning that he was special, everything
Knetter,
from his birthmark to how he got along with others in the studio.
How are you the
Sliver's
father?
first gig was a side role in a new set of YouTube videos known as the What's Up With series, a mixture of comedy and critical opinion in the format of a reaction video. Sliver made his career debut in a video about Sonic and quickly became a huge hit among viewers, stealing the spotlight from his colleagues, also featured in the series. Cardboard, Sonus, and Chuckles, two other Sliver fellows cast in the new series as main characters, eventually were moved to side roles. But was this just a marketing decision to please the audience into this early stage series? Or was there more to the situation that nobody even knew?
If I'm honest, I think the fame got to his head a little bit. He already had more fans than both of his brothers, and he was just way more ambitious and opinionated about everything in terms of how he recorded. He would never shy away from speaking up when he didn't like something.
The Secret Rings video was okay, I guess. I mean, I was honored to be brought into the series, but I just thought that we could do so much better, and I was excited to be given the opportunity to shape the What's Up With series into its full potential. But it wasn't easy, really. I just felt like nobody was taking it seriously enough.
During production of a new video about Sonic the Fighter, some drama stirred up in production about Sliver being difficult to work with. Some of the cast members complained that he was too passionate about the project, going as far as, quote, quietly ranting at them. He would normally complain about our improv as if me and Knuckles were phoning in our performances. I'm gonna be honest, Knucks and I didn't really care too much to be in the series. Peter just kinda drug us in to give us these rings in this Lord of the Rings parody thing. If anything, our genuine lack of interest was more natural and real than Sliver's roles. But he thought we just sucked at acting, I guess.
They just didn't understand the vision that Peter had for the series like I did, and to be honest, I don't think Peter was man enough to tell him to shape up. That's actually kind of fun since we're all rectangles.
It's kind of true.
I didn't like what some of the other cast was doing with their roles. There was actually an incident at one point. I guess Sliver was getting too intrusive and Knucks actually swung at him. We had to put production on hold for a while, and it actually took some time before the two of them would even be in the same building at the same time.
He kept correcting my grammar and saying things like, "Silly Knuckles, there's only 7 Chaos Emeralds," or "Silly Knuckles, Planet Wisps isn't a city," or "Silly Knuckles, tricks are for kids." I don't want to sound like a big shot, but I've been doing this long before he was ever born. What gives him the right to tell me what to do? So yeah, I swung
yes, there's 7
Sometimes
Chaos
you gotta
Emeralds,
put people
not
like
6.
him back in line.
There used to be 6 Chaos Emeralds, but no.
After morale and camaraderie returned to the set, the incident was pushed under the rug, and the series went on as planned. The new series grew, Sliver's minor role grew into a main one, and some would even say that he became the main protagonist of the What's Up With videos. And viewers couldn't be more pleased. After several shows featuring only Sliver and Peter, speculation began to rise about why this change came to be. Rumors even rose that Knuckles and Sliver could never work well together, and that Sonic simply wanted
Knuckles
to stay
rock climbing.
As the producer, writer, editor, director, and advisor for the entire series, it's my responsibility to take it in the direction that viewers want to see. But a bigger part of that was just his work ethic, and I think the chemistry. He and I don't see eye to eye on hardly anything. Beyond that, though, Knucks and Sonic just had different goals and places they wanted to take their careers.
Yeah, I guess me and Sonic didn't care as much, but if you ask me, it was Shadow who really set the change in motion. He and Sonic really never got along from the beginning. I think he even insulted his carpentry skills at one point, which really set things off. Yeah, it was too difficult to deal with Shadow. Really, he would always say stuff about his cardboard base being bigger than mine, and honestly, he smelled like guns and motorcycles just constantly. Plus, I had bigger plans. The channel wasn't growing fast enough, and there were some fast food openings that I was interested in, so I couldn't always be around. Yeah, I didn't really care much for acting, to be honest.
I can't read that.
Too much thinking and intelligence needed, and I'm just a simple brute. I ended up founding my own company where we develop rocket engines so that cardboard men can go to space.
Cardboard
With the less availability of Chuckles and Sonus, and Shadow dying for the 10th time as he is known to do, the show continued, only with Sliver and Peter. Morio, who was a one-time guest on the show, was very happy with the change, and even went as far as to suggest that Sliver should take over as host of the show.
To be honest, I think that humans should be eliminated from the world. If the show was just run by inanimates, maybe I would have had an actual line, and we would be able to spread the word of the artificials to the whole world.
Although
the whys and hows of Sliver taking over as co-host remain up for debate, the show thrived after its foggy beginnings, and went on to have over 50-plus episodes, and is now in its prime.
No, I'm very proud with where the series has gone. I set out to unlock its full potential, and I'd say we're getting pretty close anyway. Pete and I are always on the same page with everything, you know? He tends to have pretty nonsensical opinions on things that he reviews, but I keep him in line pretty well, and I think we've gotten pretty close.
He's a problem child, but I love him.
The What's Up with series became one of the highlights of the channel, and with episode 54 in production, the series is at the height of its lifetime. But little do most viewers know that the show nearly stopped in its tracks, as its co-star Sliver was nearly lost forever during an incident during episode 45.
I've seen that video.
Series, Sonic Schoolhouse.
During our review of Sonic Schoolhouse, there was an incident where the game actually came alive and tried to kill us. And for me, anyway, it was kind of a rude awakening. When you wake up every day and come to this job to the point where it becomes a second home to you, and then something happens, something completely dangerous and outlandish, it's a rude awakening and kind of a reminder of how dangerous this job can really be.
While trapped inside the laptop, Sliver destroyed the demonic disc to save the company's computer.
Yeah, that was a creepy part, by the way, at the end.
Suspected by the month-long gap
of that
between
video.
Sonic Schoolhouse and the next installment in the series, Sliver was trapped inside the computer for over 34 days.
34 days?
It was scary. Thinking that the rest of your life might be spent in a Windows 10 machine? With how unstable that OS is, I could vanish in the next update, am I right?
Sliver spent the majority of those 34 days in a constant juggling act, trying to avoid the dangers of a PC's inner workings.
Well, at first I stayed on the desktop, but after the second night, a literal desktop apocalypse broke out, and there were a bunch of ugly, barbaric Sonics that started massacring each other.
There was a lot of Sonics.
They wanted me to take part in the rituals and stuff, but I kinda didn't want to be impaled by spikes, so I escaped to the File Explorer, which, wasn't much better.
In his ventures in the File Explorer, Sliver started writing a journal in a simple text file. He wrote poetically about life in the File Explorer as, quote, complete hogwash. Basically the equivalent to a junkyard filled with random PNG images left behind from production of videos over the last 2 years.
It was like the homes you see on that TV show Hoarders, where it's just like junk piled to the ceiling, but instead of junk, it's just images of oranges and freaky abominations and even a lifeless picture of me.
In his journal, Sliver wrote about the symbolism of the clone images of him, saying,
the
lifeless PNG files reminded me of what I could become at any moment. Lifeless, being disguised as a living soul, much like Peter.
He is really monotone, so sometimes I wonder if he's dead. But anyway, after a few days, I got sick of being on the PC altogether, so I got smart and finally uploaded myself to the internet. I thought it would be a cool adventure with never-ending paths, but I kept getting blocked by firewalls and ended up just kind of floating in cyberspace for a few weeks.
During the time floating aimlessly in the
that
internet,
actually looks cool. I kind of like that
keeping the
Sliver.
incident a secret as best he could.
The universe.
There was some suspicion
Sliver is
that
gone.
something had happened, but on one hand, I didn't want to play it off as nothing happened. I didn't want to just pretend
Sliver is
like
gone.
everything was perfectly fine. But on the other hand, I had no idea how to get him out. So we just kind of went on with life.
Sliver's travel through cyberspace continued for some
feels
time,
cool.
but for the last 2 weeks of his adventure, his journal entries
adventure.
stopped, and to this day he still refuses to speak on the last 14 days of his trips through the internet.
There's a lot of things I'd rather not talk about. A lot that I'm sworn not to
what
talk
happened
about.
on the...
Sometimes I'd rather forget, to be honest.
Little is known about where and what Sliver did during this time. However, several pictures have since surfaced of Sliver in the real world that were supposedly taken during this time. One shows him next to a man who claims to be a member of the hacking group Anonymous. One was taken by a pilot supposedly stationed in Area 51. And lastly, a deep web developer who claims to have spotted him in the coding of a Bitcoin exchange site. Although none of these sightings
yeah, I see him.
proven.
How did he
Finally,
spot it?
34
How did the
days
guy
spent in
spot
the digital world,
Sliver?
the way to extract Sliver was
small.
finally discovered.
Oh yeah, he was just jammed in the disc tray. I went to play Tales Adventure and I noticed he was stuck in there, so I just pulled him out and...
then now he was free.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'm guessing the reason he didn't look there to begin with was because he was just way too distraught from mourning my death.
No, I don't know.
Either that or he's just a dunce, which is entirely possible.
After his escape from this perilous digital world, Sliver returned to the show once more, and this incident was again pushed under the rug.
In a way, it's an illusion. What you see go on in the show is what we want you to see. Sometimes when things get tough, you just gotta keep it behind the scenes and give the audience what they want. It's a juggling act, but it keeps the immersion. It makes the show a place of comfort and peace. People can come and watch and always have a laugh. They don't need to be bogged down by the hows and whys that could be unpleasant or sad. Life is tough, and entertainment is an escape. It's a security of happiness when the world gives you none, and that's what we try and make this show. That's what the entire channel is. In the end, it's not an illusion. It's an effort to share happiness. It's a genuine attempt to be a place of peace and comfort to people who might be lacking it. When you take your life, the good and the bad, you get who you are. But when you share the good and leave the bad behind, it's giving the best of yourself in an attempt to help others. Everyone knows that life is hard. Everyone knows that you might struggle. But you never know when a random goofy YouTube show, or even just having an uplifting spirit in your everyday life, might be that one thing that helps someone to keep going when they're at their lowest. Never hide when you're sad, but always share when you're happy.
That actually looks cool.
You may even end up helping yourself when things get tough. To see that silver lining. I messed it up.
The silver lining. There we go! Alright.
Hey guys, thanks a ton for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little bit.
Alright, I think the whole, I don't know. Okay, so I guess this part will just be, he'll just be talking more about it. Hold on for a second. I guess I'll check to see if there's an ending. Nope, never mind. It's the slivers and the universe. It kind of looks cool. Anyways, so yeah. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy the video, want to drop a like, and if you guys are new here, want to subscribe for more daily reactions, daily gaming. And yeah. Anyways, make sure to join the Big Gamer Army to subscribe. Because if you want to join this army, then you gotta subscribe and click the notification bell, and drop a like and share it with your friends and family. Share this video and my channel, please. So yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, see you in the next video. So peace out, guys.